Celebrity interviews aren't as easy as they look. You get used to spoilt stars who panic at the first sign of a personal question. So meeting supergroup Fleetwood Mac was a joy and a real revelation. There they were, some of the all-time greats, just itching to let it all hang out. And what a story. A saga of passion, tangled love affairs, bitter hatred, acrimonious bust-ups and tearful reunions. And in case you were wondering, there was plenty of the usual sex, drugs and rock and roll too. 4 decades of absolute mayhem. And the miracle is they're still around, still making terrific music together. Far from the world's rock arenas and stadiums, the beat goes on for Mick Fleetwood. Here in his tropical hideaway in the Hawaiian paradise of Maui.
It's like a perfect hippie paradise. So there you go, a mini Woodstock.
At 62, the legendary drummer and founder of Fleetwood Mac has got the band back together. Lindsay Buckingham, Stevie Nicks and John McVie on the road again and halfway through a sell-out world tour.
I always have been the believer that we'll always keep going, but over the last 16 years or so, I have to admit, I wonder whether we can ever get this bunch out of Dodge again.
This bunch is one of the biggest selling, most popular bands of all time. While they created unforgettable pop classics over 4 decades, behind the scenes, they lived the greatest rock and roll soap opera ever told. Love triangles, broken marriages, tears, tantrums, and drug addictions. How do you describe that time now, looking back on it?
I would have been dead. Absolutely. It would have killed me. In another year, probably would have killed me.
Centre stage of the drama was the ethereal leading lady of the band, Stevie Nicks, the ultimate rock survivor at 61.
From the moment that the lights go up and you walk out, as far as loving to sing, I love to sing more than anything. I think once you're in a band and you like playing and you like each other and you like your music, what else do we do? It is who we are and it's what we do.
It's the music that held them together through the turmoil. And what's brought them together again for this tour. That's beautiful. Do you still like playing that?
Oh, sure. I love that, yeah.
For 59-year-old Lindsay Buckingham, Stevie's ex-lover and the creative force behind the band, it's putting aside the bad times to celebrate all that was good. Is it good getting back together again?
Oh, undoubtedly. I'm having the best time of my life out there. Never going back again. And we are a band who is known to get together and then go away for a long time and come back together, and maybe that's how we've managed to stay together all this time, because our history has not been an easy one, personally.
I always joke, usually with Lindsay, and go, it's the worst run rock and roll franchise in the business, because we're all incredibly close friends that have been unbelievably dysfunctional at certain points, and also been incredibly in love.
It was thanks to love that Stevie Nicks, a struggling singer-songwriter, even ended up in Fleetwood Mac. In 1975, her boyfriend Lindsay Buckingham was asked to join the existing band members, Mick Fleetwood and married couple John and Christine McVie. He refused unless Stevie came too. One day she was working as a waitress. Within months, she was touring with a hit album.
We were on the road in June, and when we came back in September, October, Lindsay and I together had $1 million.
$1 million? Mm-hmm. 10 months earlier, you were waiting tables.
Waitress, cleaning lady.
Well, you literally had money all over the place.
We had $100 bills everywhere. It was very funny in a lot of ways because we had been so poor that we were so stunned, you know, and all of a sudden you could really have anything you wanted. It was really something. I mean, it was really the dream come true overnight.
Their success was sudden and phenomenal. Their 1977 album, Rumours, was one of the highest-selling releases of all time. But as the band hit a professional high, behind the scenes, their private lives were unravelling. John and Christine McVie's marriage was failing, and Stevie and Lindsay were about to split up.
We kept it together. And then, you know, towards the end of the recording of Rumours, all the relationships really blew up.
All of them?
All of them. And nobody was going to leave. So even if we all were breaking up, we weren't any of us going to break up the band, you know? And we were all writing great songs because we all had great sorrow to write about.
This inspiration.
So yeah, you know, straight home from the studio, straight to the piano in tears, you know, and to write a great song, you know, and carry it back and play it for the band, and everybody'd cry, and everybody knew what it was about. But on the other side of that, everybody's like, yes, one more great song.
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
They were recording music but barely speaking with each other. What they had to say, they said in song.
You can go your own way.
It was Lindsay Buckingham who wrote Go Your Own Way, an anthem for the band's Turmoil.
You can go your own way.
All of that fueled the music. And to some degree, it really was part of the appeal of Rumours, you know, the musical soap opera aspect of it. It kind of brought out the voyeur in everyone.
Name that song.
There was more to come in the Fleetwood Mac saga. Fresh from her breakup with Lindsay, Stevie began an affair with Mick. To make matters worse, along with the sex and rock and roll, they'd embraced a culture of constant drug use.
Don't say that you love me.
How deep and how heavy were your indulgences?
As
your
deep as they
times?
could get. I mean, the only blessing was I never took anything, quote, in the opiate area, ever. Thank God. Booze and cocaine. More booze, more cocaine. And that was me for a long time.
For us, it was basically, you know, brandy, cigarettes, pot, and Coke. And that was just the wicked little circle rat's wheel, I call it, that everybody was on, you know. You'd do some Coke and you were nervous, and then you'd smoke some pot, and then to calm down, you were too stoned, and then you'd, you know, do some more Coke to wake up, and then you'd have a drink because you were too nervous, and then, you know, it was just, you know, it was just a nightmare.
A nightmare that lasted 10 years before Stevie finally checked into America's most famous rehab clinic.
Decided in 1985, I went to Betty Ford, which is the Army. Betty's Army. This is not celebrity rehab. This is hardcore rehab. There's nothing fun about it. It's not a spa.
What was the wake-up call for you? When did you realise this is too much? I've just
I
done
had a
too much
very
drugs.
dangerous little hole in my nose, and it could have really threatened my voice.
The fallout continued. Lindsay Buckingham quit, not returning for 10 years, and Christine McVie walked away forever. But for Mick Fleetwood, the spirit of his band never died, and the journey is far from over.
It really is fascinating. It should be a film. It should be a play or something of that nature, because it's like so much fire and passion and guided and misguided emotions, you know. Fascinating.
I want to dedicate this song to Lindsay because he inspired this song.
And so the soap opera goes on.
Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause
They're back together, heading to Australia later this year.
I'm getting older too.
Stevie and her ex-lovers on stage, playing all their classics. An incredible musical legacy of those turbulent times.
It's still a great band. You know, what can you say? I mean, under the worst of circumstances, it's still an extraordinary group of people whose chemistry transcends the individuals, and that's what we were and still are.
What about Lindsay? What's your relationship with Lindsay?
Well, he's not my best friend. And never will be, because we were those kind of lovers, you know, and when we broke up, it was awful, and it was nasty and bad, and so we can never really be good friends. We care about each other very much, but we don't hang out.
What's your relationship today with Mick?
We're best friends. We're still going to be watching movies and hanging out in Maui when we're 90.
She described you as her best friend forever.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
That's a nice place to be in.
Yes. Stevie is a whole person, and for some years she drifted away, you know, and much like myself, and we came back. It's good.
You cherish that friendship, obviously.
Very much so. She's a soulmate.
Stevie counts herself lucky to have survived it all and still be performing. She believes it was the music that saved her, and it will always be her first love. Is there room in your life right now for love, or is it hard to be a Mr. Stevie Nicks?
It is hard. It's very hard to be Mr. Stevie Nicks. And so right now, my relationship really is with my work. And I'm always busy, and I'm never bored, and I have a dog. So it's what I wanted. My life is what I wanted. And the best thing is that I'm not going to die a drug addict, and I am going to die someday a very happy artist who did everything that she wanted.
Hello, I'm Nick McKenzie. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. Don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.